How's it going, everyone? Logan Anderson here from allstrongfitness.org, back with another video for you today. If you are somebody who is interested in keeping your brain health at a tip-top shape for your entire life, specifically if you are an older adult who's looking to decrease the chances of getting dementia, you're going to want to stay tuned for this video. We are going to talk about the scary truth about getting dementia and a few of the things that you can do to help decrease the risk of actually developing this disease. But before we get to that, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We make a lot of videos on health for older adults and just promoting inclusive fitness for individuals of all abilities. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the scary truth about getting dementia. So if you're unfamiliar what dementia is actually just a cluster of a large amount of symptoms that relate to having a brain disorder, typically involving some type of memory-related issue. Alzheimer's is the most common type of dementia, and essentially all this has to do is with the way your brain works, the way your brain thinks, and the way you perceive and ultimately take in the world. So somebody with dementia is actually just going to have a very difficult time thinking about things, remembering things, and overall navigating through life and making certain tough decisions that we all need to do on a day-to-day basis. This usually does affect just older adults, but can actually come on a little bit earlier in life, around your 40s and 50s. It really depends on you yourself as an individual and how you take care of your body through your entire life. Unfortunately, there is no cure for receiving the symptoms of dementia, but there are numerous things that you can do to be proactive and actually decrease the chances of you developing dementia to begin with. So the scary truth about getting dementia is that some of the behaviors and activities that you are doing on a daily basis can actually increase your chances of developing dementia. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few of them. So the first behavior that you are doing that likely is increasing your chances of getting dementia is having a poor diet and not exercising. Now, this is something that we often hear all about life and ultimately for it improving your physical health, but it actually goes a very long way in improving your brain health. And this is largely in part of the blood flow that actually comes to your brain with eating properly and having overall good physical activity. In addition to this, exercising and eating properly actually helps to decrease long-term chronic inflammation, which over time is what leads to a lot of different diseases, including brain-related diseases as well. If you think this is interesting, make sure to stay until the end of the video to find out what I think is the most interesting reason why you might be increasing your chances of getting dementia. Maybe your diet and physical activity patterns are super okay, but potentially you're doing this next thing. And that next thing is actually smoking. Now, smoking is something that has come down quite a lot over the years, but there are still individuals who smoke. If you are smoking, doing this actually decreases blood flow and overall nutrients to the brain in addition to your lungs. But when we're talking about all things dementia, it's usually going to be brain related. So smoking does not help your brain at all, which of course long term may increase the chances of you getting dementia. All right, so since smoking isn't very common anymore, potentially you're doing this next thing that's increasing your chances of getting dementia. And that next thing is actually drinking alcohol. If we think about alcohol in itself, alcohol is actually a toxic substance that we are putting in our body. Our body is able to process it well and digest it okay, but it is still a toxin that your body is taking in. If you think about any type of toxin that you put in your body, this is potentially putting your brain at risk to be harmed long term. So when it comes to alcohol, definitely moderate your use, but if you need any reason to quit, I think having the chances of getting dementia be increased is a good reason to stop drinking alcohol. Now, you could be doing all those things totally right, but if you are doing this next thing and not focusing on it specifically, you still could be increasing your chances of developing dementia. And that next thing is actually air pollution. So if you live in a big city or just a place that overall has a large amount of air pollution, this is actually increasing your chances of getting dementia. Just like intaking alcohol into your body, having air pollution is literally taking another form of toxin into your body. So if you are in, again, a city, or the first place I think of is like Beijing, right? We know they're very, very poor in air pollution. Over time, taking this into your body actually can affect your brain health and increase your chances of developing dementia. All right, so maybe you don't do any of those things I already mentioned, but you still could be neglecting this last thing, which is ultimately going to increase your chances of developing dementia. What is that last thing? That last thing is actually not being cognitively challenged. Having enough cognitive stimulus in your day-to-day life is super important in decreasing the chances of developing dementia. This is why a lot of individuals who, once they retire, they slowly start to deteriorate both physically and mentally in their health. They simply do not have something that is keeping them going, keeping them stimulated, keeping them thinking, and overall keeping their brain alive. If you do not exercise a muscle, that muscle is going to shrink. If you do not challenge your brain and ultimately put it through different stresses that keep it thinking, growing, and moving, that brain is going to die out. And we all know that when it comes to decreasing the chances of developing dementia, once your brain starts to go downhill, it's hard to come back from that. So what do you think? Do you do any of these habits that will potentially increase the chances of you developing dementia? Let me know down in the comments below, and also let me know how you plan on addressing them. These are things that you can definitely do to overall improve your health, not just for your brain health, but also physical health too, right? Doing these things will help you long term for literally everything in your health. So make a few changes, give it a shot for yourself. You can do it. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We make videos on senior health and inclusive fitness for individuals of all abilities. If you're interested, also check out our low impact exercise programs down below in the description box. For yourself, you can do those at your home. Thank you again so much for clicking on the video. We'll make sure to see you. To tell me you're no good, I'm brushing away.